Wherever you are, be there totally. That's a quote by Eckhart Tolle. Mindfulness is a simple practice for greater well being. Welcome to Hope Floats. I'm Michelle, and I'm here to share my experience, strength, and hope about my journey of healing. I'm not a professional, I'm simply another human being on this journey of life. One of my ideas about life is that no one gets out of it without scars. At Hope Floats, we talk about the scars and how to move ourselves along the spectrum of healing at our own pace with encouragement and support. You are not alone. I've created a safe place for sharing on Facebook. It is called Hope Floats Club. I hope you will join me there. I was in so much pain that trying to be mindful seemed like a daunting task. Just how and under what circumstances was I going to be mindful when my brain hurt so damn much? How was I going to be zen? At the hospital, they always had coloring about. I never really got what it was for except for taking up time. They would do mindful activities, but I never fully got the point. I was stubborn and in so much pain that I couldn't see beyond the tip of my nose, even if I tried. One activity I recall was enjoying a cup of hot chocolate, mindfully. I still didn't get it when we started, or fully grasp the concept when we were done, but somehow it opened up a crack in the moment of mindfulness, and I'll tell you about mindful hot chocolate in a bit. Mindfulness is a big topic, so let us consider this the first installment about mindfulness. With mindfulness, we can establish ourselves and train our brains to be in the present in order to touch the wonders of life that are available in that moment. Maybe you'll be able to relate to something here or find something that speaks to you and help you along your journey. Maybe you'll hear something new or even hear it in a new way that you will find helpful. Let's talk about mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is being present in the moment, not in the past, not in the future, right here in the here and now. Being mindful takes practice. Well, let's consider and define the word practice. I was once told that perfect practice makes perfect. Well, for me, that was a big bite to swallow. I didn't know if I could do it perfectly if I was just learning to do whatever it was. What if my practice wasn't perfect, I worried. Many years later, I realized for myself that any practice of a skill is a good thing. Start where you're at. Simply just start. But start at your pace, at your beginning, not someone else's. We define our healing, not a doctor or a therapist or a parent or a friend. Wherever you are, just try. Take a nibble of a technique and try with some hope and some practice. Maybe this new technique will be beneficial to you. While the art of mindfulness has roots stemming back thousands of years, it has more recently been championed by the wellness industry as an approach to ease stress and encourage relaxation. It is the nature of the mind to think, analyze, and to figure things out. That's its job. That means that left to its own devices, our mind will constantly seek out new stimuli, new things to think about, and new ways to check out from reality. Mindfulness practice is a way of gently retraining the mind to settle into the present moment. By practicing mindfulness over and over with patience and compassion for yourself, you can teach your mind to be still. Eventually, the mind may even dissolve altogether, meaning that there is no intellectual or conceptual overlay between you and what you are experiencing in the moment. Instead, you're fully immersed in and at one with the present moment. This experience is what is known as true presence. Mindfulness is the practice of gently focusing your awareness on the present moment over and over again. It is a practice that can bring you from the past that holds possible regrets, and living in the moment can also aid in relieving us from the fear and worry of the future, which I know firsthand can be debilitating. For me, the past and the unforeseen future carries with it anxiety. Anxiety can feel like trudging through quicksand while trying to get out of it, and we become stuck in it. Sometimes it even physically hurts. My anxiety is in my belly and in my chest, and it feels like burning embers. When it comes to anxiety, practicing mindfulness can provide the mental tools to slow things down so that you don't become overwhelmed. We'll talk about anxiety again another time. Being in the present moment, we can better take healthy action on the situation at hand. We can control this very moment. With consistent mindfulness practices, the time to take action can become easier and easier. This is where I find myself being able to handle the present so much better. Practicing mindfulness is best started when not in a crisis. Start on a good day. Like any good practice, doing it over and over, that skill becomes stronger. I can't emphasize that enough. No matter what methods you choose, it's important that you find ways to integrate your mindfulness practice into your life in ways that are meaningful and enjoyable to you. Let me say that again. Find things you find enjoyable. Like I mentioned, at the hospital, they were always coloring. I didn't get what they were trying to teach mindfulness. I'm sure they said it. I just never got it. I never used it for that purpose. One day I was at home and I decided to sit on the back deck and color. Years later, my coloring is still a mindful activity for me, so much so that I started an adult coloring group in my community. I'm pleased to say that this group is doing well, and we are a group that truly enjoys each other's company. More on building a community later. So let's consider coloring a tool for mindfulness. If it appeals to you, let's look at a sample of mindful ideas and then break it down to a starting point and then some possible following steps you can make it to seem more manageable. For me, and likely others, if it seems too big or overwhelming, I'm likely to talk myself out of it and not even start. So step 1 would be choosing an activity. And that activity can be so many things. Model cars, cooking, baking, martial arts, driving, creating a music playlist, playing a game, or considering activities that are old and with proven excellent for mindfulness like yoga or meditation. The possibilities are endless. So with coloring in mind, one of the first steps that I had to do is break it down. What did I already have? So I had coloring books and crayons from my granddaughter. And now my guilty pleasure is kids' books and crayons. I love those. And I had to decide, did I want to color children's or adult coloring books? There's a plethora of coloring choices. What did I want to use? Crayons or markers or colored pencils. Again, there are so many to choose from. The next step would be purchasing the things I need. Shopping in itself can be mindful. And then where and when to color. I found the best place was my kitchen table. And then step 5, stay in the moment. Observe the activity. Define it with your senses if that helps you stay in the moment. For example, sight, the materials I picked, and the colors and the pictures. Touch, the feel of the crayon in my hand as it glided over the paper. Smell of a fresh pack of crayons. It has its own unique smell. Hearing, the paper rustle or the quiet sound of the markers on the paper. Using the senses can help to keep you in the moment. Using the senses is not for everyone. If you notice If I notice my mind start to wander, I sometimes use the senses to root me in the moment and gently focus myself back on the activity at hand. Meditation is a hard one for me to keep my mind quiet and in the moment. I have found that guided meditation works better for me to stay in the present. You can find all kinds of meditation and yoga videos on YouTube and you can start without it costing a penny. At the beginning, here I mentioned mindful hot chocolate. This appealed to me instantly. I could recognize my senses quickly and easily in this exercise. I could close my eyes and feel my hands on the warm coffee cup. I opened my eyes and I could see the whipped cream being put on top. And it looked delicious. I could smell the chocolate and it made me want to taste it. It was delicious. Each time I used my senses to do the simple task of mindfulness for the next 5 minutes or so, I was brought back to the moment at hand. And I use this technique today. I always have hot chocolate and tea of many varieties so that I can have a mindful moment whenever I want. What's most important is to find a technique that appeals to you and your lifestyle so that you can be consistent. After all, mindfulness is most effective when it becomes a habit. When it comes to anxiety, practicing mindfulness can provide you with the mental tools to slow things down so you don't get overwhelmed. It is best to practice your chosen activity when you are not in a crisis. My hope is that mindfulness practice will prove its effectiveness when in a crisis. Since training the brain to be in the moment, my management of difficult moments have become a lot easier. For me, mindfulness is something I truly have come to enjoy. I believe the benefits of training my brain aid me in difficult times, and they occur with less frequency. Whew, what a relief. Keep in mind, this is just one piece of an ongoing journey. Many people are doing mindful activities, and it must be worth a try. Everyone can't be wrong. Everyone's experience with mindfulness will be different, and the benefits are well documented. What do you have to lose by choosing a mindful activity that appeals to you? Mindfulness helps us to come back to the present moment where we realize that none of the horrible stuff is actually happening. Thank you for listening. Come back and please like, subscribe, thumbs up, whatever the platform allows, and join me at Hope Floats Club on Facebook. Take care.